first look video from InfluenceWP. We are checking out a WordPress plugin called WooCommerce Wishlist, which is going to allow you to create multiple wish lists per customer. So the idea is you go to a WooCommerce website, they've got products, you can save them in these lists, wish lists, if you will, for buying later or even just for sharing. And this is going to allow you to do multiple lists like that. So before we dive in and poke around on the website a bit further, before looking at the actual solution, just a quick bit of housekeeping. First look videos cover products and services we have no prior experience with. They show vendors how new users experience their website, products, and services for the very first time. These videos are unedited, high-level introductions. They are not sponsored or paid for, and they contain no affiliate links. If you would like videos like this or other types of videos created for your business, go to influencewp.com/partners and request your free lifetime partner membership. And we thank WP Factory, who is the vendor behind this plugin, for being a partner of InfluenceWP. So if you go over to influencewp.com, go to the deals area and just do a search for Wishlist, we should find the plugin we are talking about here today. And we see that right here on my screen. And go ahead and grab that exclusive deal for the plugin. Okay, so I typically like to dive right down into the footer. And so that is what we're going to do. But again, it's about creating curated lists of products that you either want to buy yourself or that your team should buy, or that you want to share with your customers to buy, for example. All right, so we are going to look at all of this here in a second. If there's anything else I want to show here. Okay, let's go to the About page. They have an affiliate program if that's something that you're interested in. I'm going to see what this nonprofits and charities is about. Let's see this other link for nonprofits. I'm not sure if that's the same thing. Some of this stuff I literally have never clicked on before, so that's why we do this. Let's go to Support Center. Forums. What else? You can find them on Facebook, LinkedIn, WordPress.org, or GitHub. All right, I think that's good enough for us to get started. Let's go to resources. Let's go to how to, see what's in there. They've got some ebooks, case studies. They have a knowledge base. I want to see that. And okay. So if you've seen any of my videos, you'll know I like about pages with faces and names. So that's kind of what I want to see. There we go. So this is a sizable team, faces with names, good to go. I'll let you guys check that out yourself. I should mention the website is wpfactory.com. And then you can see they've got tons of plugins, tons and tons of plugins. Okay, so this is the nonprofit commitment page. So it looks like they offer an 80% discount on their range of solutions. We'll just call them range of solutions. And then if you meet the criteria for that, proving that you are a qualifying nonprofit, then they will help you out. So go check that out if you're a nonprofit. This looks to be a similar page, but maybe it talks about it a little bit more. So a really good initiative. My experience at WP Factory is just super responsive, super kind folks. That's been my experience. So this is not surprising that they have a nonprofit initiative. Okay, so this is the support center. We've got documentation, which I have up in another tab, I believe. We have FAQ, support forum, submit a ticket, social media. Okay, let's start closing some of these tabs down. So here we have the forums. And like I said, they have a ton of products. So you can dive in and out of the forums for the individual solutions. That's very cool. And then we are now on the how-to archive. So lost for words there. What am I trying to say? Instructions, guides, whatever you want to call them, walkthroughs, all right there, it looks like. And then here's the docs. Okay. So we're looking at the Wishlist plugin, and let's just do a search for it. Let's see here. I'm going to close this out. Doc of WooCommerce Wishlist, multiple wish lists per customers. So that just happened to be the very first one in the list, which is funny. There we go. So this is just stuff all dedicated to this plugin. Look at all that information just for that one plugin. So that is super, super cool. I'm going to move that to my other screen because we may need it. Let's see here. I'm going to pull up their main plugin page for that as well, just so I can touch on all of the features. Hopefully, well, bear with me one second. Wish list. Okay, so I have that pulled up over on. So now I'm over in my sandbox site, and I have WooCommerce installed. I have this plugin that we're talking about right now installed, Wishlist for WooCommerce Pro. Just the latest version of WordPress, and then the 2025 default WordPress theme. That's all we've got going on here. Okay, so let's go to settings. All right, so we are dropped into the wish list tab of WooCommerce, and then we have all kinds of settings in here. General options, wish list for WooCommerce enabled. That's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen enabling the plugin within the menus like that. So that's interesting. Oh, I think I can see. Okay. That's still interesting. So here you have a setting for enabling multiple wish lists. We definitely want to check that out. So I'm going to turn that on. Here we have a cache setting if we need to mess with that. Nav menu items, enable wish list icon counter on the menu. Yeah, let's do that. Variable products allow variations to be added to the wish list. Yep, let's do that. So if you don't have variable products, then that doesn't really apply, but which we don't really in this case, but just know that it works. I assume that it works. We have a whole section here dedicated to Font Awesome, or I shouldn't say a section, a couple settings, my bad. So you can load Font Awesome if you want. If you're not using it, maybe a little bit of a performance gain if you don't load it. Here you can choose the Font Awesome URL where to load the CSS from. Responsiveness settings, that's cool. I'm going to save my changes. By default, we're in the share tab now. By default, we're able to share our wish lists. You can choose the position of where the sharing modal or button or CTA or whatever is placed. We're not going to mess with any of the defaults. Admin emails that will receive wish list notifications from users. Not quite sure what that's for. So that kind of sounds like if our customer shares a wish list, the admin's going to get notified of that. Admin emails that will receive wish list notifications. You know what? Let's see here. I've never honestly used wish lists, so this is new to me. So allows your customers to create and manage multiple wish lists, organizing their favorite products for easy access. So if you're doing that, I'm not sure why the admin would get an email. Whether you're saving the items for later or planning for gift lists, this feature enhances the shopping experience, encouraging return visits and more purchases. Okay. Yeah, I don't understand the admin part of it. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Again, this email part, I'm not quite sure what the email part is. Share buttons. So share on Facebook, share on X, Twitter, or you can enable a copy wish list link to a clipboard. Sure, why not? Let's save those changes. Let's move on. Buttons. Default button, a button with a text and an icon with the purpose of the removing of the adding items removing of or adding items to the wish list. Okay. Man, there's just a lot. I didn't anticipate there to be this many settings. This is very comprehensive. Different types of buttons. Geez Louise. Interactions with. We have a section down here, interaction with unlogged users. How users that are not logged in should interact with wish list buttons. Allow logged out users to remove add items to the wish list once the button is clicked. Visibility. Allow unlogged users to see. Yeah, there's just a lot going on here. Wish list page. Okay, now we're getting into some meat and potatoes here. So let's go to pages. We do not have a wish list. Yeah, we do. So it created the wish list page for us. It dropped in the necessary short code, I'm assuming. And now we can view that on the front end. Okay, so that's our wish list that we're building. We've got default sorting options. We've got some options there. Drop down sorting, duplicate functionality for wish list. Looks like this is to enable like to duplicate our wish list. Okay, we'll skip that for now. Wish list table. Okay. All kinds of options you can have for the tables, whether it's stock, price, add to cart button, SKU, quantity, so on and so forth. Attributes, taxonomies, wish list item subtotal, display a subtotal. Yeah, let's do that. Position. Again, you can adjust the position of where the subtotal appears. Auto remove items, remove products from wish list in some specific circumstances. So remove products from wish list in case they get purchased. Okay, that makes sense. Let's do that. If the status of those items are processing or completed, it's going to remove those. Cool. When added to cart, do we want to remove them from the wish list? We'll just go with the defaults there. Drag and drop ordering. We're going to skip all of this. Just know that there's a lot of ordering options in here. If you can manipulate the order of things. Note field. Enable a note field. A new column added to the wish list table, allowing users to enter a note for each added item. Yes, let's check that out. Let's leave all the rest of the defaults set there. Enable wish list notes and email. Again, the whole email thing, I got to get my head wrapped around that. I'm not sure what that's going to do. So we'll go ahead and turn that on. Stock alerts. Yeah, we can do that. For example, like let's say you put something in your wish list and you haven't pulled the trigger on the order yet, but you get an alert that says, hey, this item that you're holding on to is going out of stock soon, if you will. I mean, I know going back, like I said, I never used wish list before. I mean, I know what they are. Like I just like, I've never personally used them as a shopper, and I've never had to set it up, this kind of a solution up for a client. So that's what I mean by new to me here. I don't want you guys to think I didn't even know what a wish list was. Definitely know what that is. My account wish list tab. So we're going to create a wish list tab account in the my account page. Let's just go ahead and look at that real quick. Let's go back to the front end of the site and my accounts. Okay, I'm not actually seeing it there. All right, we'll circle back to that. Let's go. Okay, that's in there. Wish list tab. Create a wish list tab on my account page. And we can always create that manually, but it looks like it should do that automatically. All right, let's move over to short codes. So you have all kinds of short codes for displaying different things. We will leave that. So here's the core wish list short code, and that's what appears. That's what's making this page right here happen, this wish list page. All right, we'll go ahead and move on. Pop-up notifications. Desktop enables pop-up notifications. I don't know what any of the notifications are for. Let me do a search real quick on their website. Notifications. All right, here we go. Pop-up notifications serve as a dynamic way to communicate with your customers, providing them with timely updates and driving engagement directly with the wish list activities. Turn on pop-up notifications for desktop users, offering them immediate updates as they interact with their wish list. Okay, so as they interact with their wish list. By default, it's activated on desktop, but not mobile. Wish list link shows the wish list. That's a mouthful. Shows the wish list link after adding a product to it. Okay. OK button. Show the OK button so you have one or more options to close the. Okay. Moving on. So the next tab is style. So you can style this all up to match your branding. Again, we're using the default 2025 theme. So don't hold that necessarily against The plugin that we're testing here, I've done no styling whatsoever for the site. It's just everything is just vanilla, whatever comes out of the box. But you can enable, the moral of the story here is you can enable custom styling. And there's lots of options there. Let's go to text. So you can change the wording in different areas of the plugin. So that's cool. Let's go to admin. Wishlist report info oriented to the administrator. So you can enable different reports by adding columns to the users list page. You can just all kinds of options in the user table if you want to manage that in the back end for your users. Products page displays a column on the products page showing how many times a product has been added to the wish list. Man, this is really, really cool. All right, let's come back to this because I think that's pretty cool stuff. We'll come back to the admin column tab, I should say. Compatibility. All right, so this is more of a compatibility thing. We don't need to mess with that. Under the advanced tab, we're not going to mess with any of that. So just know that this is in here. There's Ajax controls, guest user data type controls, JavaScript update events, and toggle events. So we'll leave that alone. I am interested in this admin column. All right, so let's test this thing out. What's under recommendations here? Okay, so this is recommending their plugins, other plugins. Okay. So let's go to the front end of the site. We see our wish list is empty. Let's open the shop in a new page. I have a couple test products. Let's go into product one. Okay, I'm not seeing any wish lists. Maybe that's what this heart appears for. There we go. Okay. So I don't know if you can control that or not. Let's take a quick look and see. Share options, share buttons. Okay, not there. Let's go to buttons. There we go. Default button for single product. Enable button on single product page. There we go. Let's try that out. Let's refresh the page. There we go. So before you had the heart that appeared over the image, product image. Now we actually have a button. Let's go back here. Can we put a label on that button? I am not sure. Then you can also put a button for the product loop. You could do a thumb button, a button with an icon positioned over the product image. Yep. So that's what we currently see. We can also do a tooltip. So let's show a tooltip. Then you can edit those tooltips. There we go. So now when we hover over the heart, we see a tooltip and we can control the text that goes into that tooltip. I lost where I was. Where's the tooltip? There we go. So you can edit the text that appears in there. Let's go ahead and click on that. Let's do a search for tooltip. I'm not seeing it there. Thumb button. Let's do a search for thumb. Yeah, I'm not seeing that there either. Okay, we will move on. WP Factor, if you're watching this, I'm not quite sure. Not quite sure what I was supposed to do there. Okay, moving on. All right, product page, enable that. Yep. Okay. So the only thing I don't quite understand or know is the tooltip, and it could be that it's the 2025 theme. I'm not sure that why we're not able to see that text. I'm not sure what's going on there. Okay. I don't wonder if they say anything about themes. Let me do a quick search on their website real quick about theme compatibility. How to integrate with Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about whether it should work with a specific theme or not. So I'm not quite sure. Like maybe if I was to drop a more of a WooCommerce centric theme in here, that it would just work differently. So like maybe that tooltip would work there. Okay. So anyway, we click on that, or we click on this button here. We select a wish list. So right now we've got a default wish list. We can create a new one. So I'm going to just create a new one. My wish. We're going to save it. There we go. Done. Now let's go over to product 2 and let's add this to a wish list. For this one, let's create a new wish list because again, it's multiple wish lists is one of the key features of this plugin. My other wish. Okay, there we go. So now let's go over to our wish list page and we see the default wish list and then the 2 custom I have trouble saying that, wish lists that we have. Let's click in there. It's interesting that the wish list says it's empty. Yeah, that's not good. Let's go to my account. Here we go. Now we see that wish list endpoint in there that we didn't see before. Let's try something else, guys. Let's just for fun. Let's go parents, themes. Let's drop something else in here. Let's go. I typically don't do this, but let's do this. Let's go storefront. We're going to install the storefront theme, which is a WooCommerce centric theme. And let's just check some stuff out. Let's refresh our my account page. Here we go. Wish list. Not that I expected it to fix this part, but maybe the styling. So let's go back to our shop product. So here's the loop. So now we see that icon in the loop, the favorites. But I still don't see the tooltips working. You know what it is? I know what it is. So it's my fault. My fault. This is why we do this. So the plugin vendors can see that people where they may struggle, or I'm just the problem. And it's not the plugin that needs to do anything at all, which is the case potentially here. Add it to the wish list. I didn't actually add it to a wish list. I just created the wish list. So I'm going to add product 1 to this wish list, save. Add this one to my other wish list, save. There we go. It's my fault. Let's go to our wish list page or endpoint. So let's go back here too. Let's just put on 2025 theme just to show that's not the issue. Let's go to this wish list. There we go. So we do see some funky styling, but again, we have done nothing to the site as far as styling, but that was the My Wish list. And let's check out the next one. And that one is working as well. So if I was to go and activate storefront again, this styling is going to change just to show you. See that? So it depends on the theme. It's not necessarily an indictment on the actual plugin. It's the theme plays a role. Okay. So here, when you are in those lists, you see what you see here. Let's go back to the shop. Let's add product 3 to another list. I want to see where there's multiple products in a list. Done. Okay, here we go. So once we did that, it popped up this little dialog box. This is the pop-up that we read about earlier. Okay, there we go. So now we have multiple products in this list. Here's where the customer or potential customer in this case can make a note. Love this. Or come down here and they're like, hey team, buy this, buy. Oh, you have a limit on characters. Interesting. Okay, so that's something to note. Looks like there's a character limit. Let's go back over to settings. All right, so here's the note field. Enable note field. Label, field type, text area. Okay. Even if it is text, though, we can change the max number of characters, which is the problem we're facing here. Let's change this to text area and just put it to like 50 characters. Refresh. There we go. So now you have more real estate to work with. Hey team, buy this plugin by Monday. Cool, cool. So here's the stock alert that we talked about earlier. Receive email when a product becomes available in case it gets out of stock in the first place. So what it's doing right now is pre-populating my email address of this test site that I'm using. But so if you happen to be logged in to the site, it's going to fill in your address and you're going to get those notifications. So that's really cool. Okay. And then we have the share options. Maybe this is where the email comes in. So we share to Facebook, X, Twitter. We can share via email. So it's going to pop up a little email form here. Who it's from, set the email address, a little message, send to, and then you can put comma separated email address and send. That's really cool. So form built in right here to quickly fire off an email to somebody. Whether it's imagine building like a wish list for your customer. If you happen to be in the affiliate marketing game and you are an affiliate for WP Factory, you could fire this off. Your clients or whoever buys the products from the wish list, you get the commission potentially. So really, really cool stuff there. What else can we look at? Then we have this option. I think this is the duplicate thing we read about earlier. Wishlist URL. Oh, copy to the clipboard. Okay, it looks like a duplicate icon as well. So we can copy that wishlist URL and then let's hypothetically, plop it right here into the message. So that's cool. Neato. What else did I want to look at? Let's go back over to that admin tab. There's something in here. Yeah, users page. So if I go over to the users page, that user, we're browsing potentially as a guest, right? So they're not actually in there. But if they were in here and they made a wish list, created a wish list, let's go ahead and check this on. Let's also check this one on. So we're going to enable a column in the user's listing page showing how many items the user has added to the wish list. We're also going to give the ability to clear the wish list from the back end. There we go. So clear the wish list from the back end. It's not showing my products though that I have in the wish list. So I'm not sure what's up with that. Enable a column in the user's list page showing how many items the user has added to the wish list. So I'm not seeing that happen. See that right there? There should be something right there. All right, let's try this a different way. Let's test this with a logged out user. Here's some other things we can look at too first. Products page displays a column on the products page showing how many times a product has been added to a wish list. Let's check that out. We're also going to include items from unlogged in users. Okay, let's do that. Let's look at the before though. So let's go to all products. Okay, we don't see anything in here about wish lists. Let's toggle this on. Oh, sorry, we've already toggled them on. Okay, let's just save our changes. Let's refresh the page. There we go. So now we have some wish list information here, but not much is going on. All right, let's go ahead and log in within another browser, or not log in. Let's just go. Oh, let's see here. Okay. So I'm going to go to the shop page. I'm going to go add this This is a non-logged-in user. They don't have a wish list. So I'm going to create, I'm going to call this guest wish list, guest wish, save, add this product to the wish list, done. I'm going to add one more product to the same wish list. Okay, so now if we go back to the back end of the site, let's see if we see a user show up here. I wouldn't think so because they're not logged in, right? But now if we go to the products table, are we going to see something in here? No, we still don't see anything in this column. Okay. All right, let's take one more step. Let's add a test user. All right, I'm going to log in here as if I could type. Okay, so now let's go to my wish list, make sure I've got items in there. I do not have any in there. Let's go back to the shop. I'm going to add this to my wish list, create a wish list. Okay, go to my wish list. There's my test wish list. There's my 2 products in there. Okay, now let's go back to check the back end. There we go. I've got my test user account back there. I'm going to refresh. I do have the ability to clear the wish list, but I'm not seeing anything else in the wish list column. Let's refresh the product page. So that's the users. Let's go to products. Again, not seeing anything over there. All right, so users page. Enable a column on the users list page showing how many times the user has added the wish list. Okay, and on the products page, I'm not seeing any of that. It could be cache. It shouldn't be caching because it's the back end. We should see it. Get items method, post meta, method used to get the wish list items amount from registered users. We could try flipping that over. Yep, I'm not sure. Wish list column. Add a wish list column to the WooCommerce products exporter. Okay, that's exporting. Wish list, that's importing. All right, we're not doing any of that. Let me just poke through a couple of these tabs again. Ignore cache by loading the wish list elements via JavaScript. Mark this option only if you are using some caching plugin. All right, we can just give that a shot. Clear all caches as it instructed after we enable that setting. Let's go back to products, refresh. Yeah. I wouldn't expect that to work since we are in the dealing with the back end, but I thought it was worth a shot. Okay, it's not in there. It's not in there. Wish list page, it's not in there. Style, we're not talking about the style. Let's check compatibility. No, it's not the short codes. Check the advanced tab. JavaScript update events. JavaScript events that will force the wish lists to update. All right, let's try that. And then these are the events. All right, let's go and as this test user, I'm going to go back to the shop. I'm going to try to trigger something else. Let's add this other product to our test wish list. We have all 3 of these products in the wish list. Let's go back to the admin, refresh. Still nothing. Still nothing. Still nothing. All right, let's see at least if the clear wish list button works. So I'm going to clear that. I didn't get any kind of a notification or anything. Let's go. But it did clear. Okay, so that is working. WP Factory, if you're watching this, I think a confirmation should be in there. Maybe that confirmation is just that this wish list right here gets cleared, but as you can see on my screen, I'm not seeing anything in this column. Could be something I'm doing wrong, but folks watching this video, that's why we do these. These are first looks. Not every solution is perfect. I'm not perfect, so it could be a combination of one of those two things. I'm just missing something. It could be a little bug with the plugin. That's why we do these. So users can see where to click around, see kind of the hiccups you might face. Plugin authors can see what the user's experience is with. These are not videos that are out there to generate YouTube subscriber views. That's not what we're doing here. This is real world, how a first-time user would experience this stuff. I want you guys to please keep that in mind. These are not official tutorials or anything like that. So there's a lot of value, in my opinion, to the vendor and the users to seeing this stuff. But yeah, I am not sure how to populate those columns, or maybe I'm just thinking about it wrong, or I haven't ticked on a setting or something like that. But anyway, as you guys can see, there is a ton that is possible with this plugin. A ton. Like I'm just scratching the surface. All these different short codes where you can do all kinds of different custom pages with different things that you want to show and do. Absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. So yeah, just wild. Okay. Great plugin, WP Factory. I'm loving it. May actually get me to use Wishlist for the first time on a website. But if you're running a true store out there, I see how this could be extremely, extremely valuable. Did I ever click on the share? Let's click on share here. Let's click on X. Okay, so that's going to drop you right into X, Twitter, and it's going to say check out my wish list and a nice direct link there. So that's cool. It's going to do the same thing for Facebook, I'm assuming. And then you've seen this email form here, which is super slick, by the way. And then here you can copy and share. All right, let's look at the website one more time and I'll get you guys out of here. WPFactory.com and just do a search for the wish list plugin, because they've got so many plugins in here. You got to do a search for it unless you have the direct link, maybe through InfluenceWP. But I want to make sure I don't miss anything here. Wish list creation, let customers save their favorite products for later. Create multiple wish lists. Yep, we saw that. Share wish lists on social media. We saw that. Obviously, there's more details under each of these, but you get the idea. Personalized wish list notifications and styling. We saw some of that, like with that pop-up saying, a little bit of pop-up information there. We saw in the stock notifications was another one. Wish list analysis and reporting tools. So this is kind of where we struggled, or I struggled. Add special columns to the admin panel to track product popularity and wish list frequency. You know what? One thing I want to check real quick is, can I go into a product and see if there's anything special in the actual product page in the back end? Not seeing anything in there. Okay, that's fine. Let's go to screen options. Anything in there? No. Okay. No worries. They didn't advertise that. I was just curious. So I'm not sure about the analysis and reporting. Is there anything okay, if we go to analytics, is there anything, do we have anything in the WooCommerce analytics? I don't see any specific wish list stuff in here. They're not not advertising that. I'm just was curious. Okay. I really wish we could show more here. Like what, maybe, you know what it could be? Let's try one more thing. I lied. I'm going to try one more thing. Let's do, Let's create another user. Maybe it takes multiple users to be able to get that stuff triggered there. Okay, so let's try that out. So I'm going to go back over here into my other browser. So here I am logged in as the test user. Let me add something really quick to, I'm going to add it to my default wish list and save. Okay, so this user has something. I'm going to log out and I'm going to go in as the other user. Promise we're almost done now. Test. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the shop. I'm going to add a product to their default wish list. Done. Let's go to our dashboard, refresh the users table. There we go. Yes, that did it. Okay, awesome. So I'm glad we stuck with it. Now you see it here in the wish list column. All right, super cool. Let's go to products and we should see something in there as well. Boom, there we go. So that's it. That's what triggered it. Now, if I clear that wish list for the second user, yeah, that's kind of our confirmation. It clears it. Okay, so that is very good. I think we conquered everything here. Customizable icons with font awesome integration, custom notes. We saw that. Styling, again, we didn't do anything with styling, just the 25 default theme. We also looked at the storefront theme, but you could absolutely get in there and style this however it is that you need to. You know, whether it's your theme, page builder, whatever it is that you use. Now we've looked at the analysis and analytics, data export, probably self-explanatory there. Full support for product variations. We didn't look at that, but that's absolutely fine. I'm confident that it works. And then wish lists you can enable for guest users, so they don't necessarily need to log in like we did with our tests. Okay, lots going on with this plugin. I mean, just really awesome stuff. So not just saying that. So again, wpfactory.com, search for the wishlist plugin, go to influencewp.com, find the deal section, do a search. They have tons of plugins listed with exclusive deals for you on InfluenceWP. So thanks again, WP Factory, and thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video.